Aloha, everyone. What a week it has been. What a crazy turn of events. The market after last Friday's session looked like it was ready to break down and roll completely over. And instead, on Monday, we saw zero follow through, an inside day. Tuesday was another inside day. And then we on the SPY broke through the 50 SMA on very strong volume with the pocket pivot point signal. And this was such a character change overall that it was just impossible to not notice. My scans exploded with the number of stocks that populate in each scan after this one session. All of my scans look for strong stocks, so they have to be strong, which means they're near 52-week highs, and they all exploded, all of them. It doesn't matter if what kind of criteria I was using, it exploded higher. The question after the session is follow through or more chop? Follow through. And after Friday's session, more follow through. And on top of that, the IWM has led the last two sessions. It's reclaimed its 50 SMA on strong volume with another pocket pivot point signal. It looks like the IWM wants to lead. I know it's choppy, I know it's sloppy, but I'll remind everyone it's still a QT tape. I believe next week we switch to QE finally. So we're at the beginning of the QE cycle. We have a presidential election coming up, very uncertain. What I believe has happened, you can agree with me or disagree with me. I'm just telling you, based on all the polls that I look at, no matter what side of the aisle it comes from, and based on the current Vegas odds, and based on that last debate, Wall Street now knows who's going to be president. I'm going to remind everybody, it does not care who is president. They have lobbyists for all Congress members. Each side of the aisle has been bought and paid for by corporate America. All that matters is that corporate America needs to know, where do I need to funnel my money? I believe that X factor has been taken away. With QE taken away, we're now good to go. But the amount of strong stocks out there is just beyond shocking. And following the Wednesday session on the SPY, I could tell something was happening. So I immediately, on all new long positions, started to increase size. And something I haven't done since July, or really since June, actually. That last leg higher was really weird. A lot of rotation, a lot of weird games going on. But I'm loosening up my trailing stops. I was keeping tight stops, and if something didn't work immediately, I just wanted to get out and look for a re-entry and or just move on. I'm now going to give stocks room to work so I can try to get the big moves. But that being said, leaders that I get long, like first off, APP. I wish that whenever it broke out on this session, it wouldn't have been up as much. But I worked a limit order, but I still did a buy stop order above the high of the day just in case. Good thing I did, because in 2 days it's up 15%. Trim and trail. But once again, I'm going to let this stock, as long as it pulls back, I'm going to give some of the piece room to work all the way down to here. Now, before the past week, after this move in 2 days, I wouldn't let the stock go red. It would be a break-even stop now on the remaining position. But in this tape, I'm willing to give things room to work. And things look just really good. I mean, it's everywhere out there. This evening, I have 3 quality long signals I want to get long, and I have one that I want to add to my position. I think I'm just going to double up the position, but the first stock I'm going to get long is RKT. This is from my Cancel and Perfect Speculator scan. When I look at Redfin, gone. ZG, which I have in my long-term portfolio, fresh breakout, but it looks extended on the compared to the 50-day simple moving average. ILPT is a REIT that doesn't look too extended, but that one's from my perfect speculator scan. But you can see a lot of real estates look good. Well, RKT is pulling back. If you draw a downtrend line, right across here, it's breaking out above the downtrend line. Pocket pivot point signal, heavier volume, mini bop surge. I want to get long above the close. That's another thing I did. I'm doing different now, guys. I've been waiting to the high of the day to get long, but things are changing. I'm increasing my size and getting really large, massive size on anything. So let's say I can get another A8. Now that we know that we're going into QT, right? Let's say I can get another AHR type signal. All right. We get an AHR type signal here. I'm going heavy from now on. We're not going to have this kind of day. If we do, it's a buyback. I didn't buy it back because of just the overall market's been weird. It's been a very weird tape. But I'm loading the boat next time this signal shows up. So these are going to be load signals. For instance, this one did fail, but if I can get a VIRC signal off the 50 SMA, I'm loading up on that signal. So that's what I'm doing moving forward. But for now, increase size, going to get heavy long. I'm calculating my size from the 50 SMA, or excuse me, from the low here, and I'm risking the 50 SMA. Once again, normally it's been the other way around, which is why I almost started off that sentence saying that I'm calculating size here and risking to there. I'm calculating size from the low. My final stop will be the 50 SMA. I'm letting these things work if they want to work. But RKT, I believe, has a 95 composite rating. IBKR has a 98 composite rating. I want to get long this, possibly a double bottom with handle or a V-shaped cup with handle. Who gives a shit anymore what they're called? But I'm getting long this name. Once again, mini downtrend line break, heavier volume, pocket pivot point signal, getting long above the closing price, not the high of the day. Once again, that's a shift. Calculating my size, probably from this low, and this will also be my stop. So I'm going to use this low as where I'm going to calculate my size and from my final stop. But IBKR, you can see, looks very similar to RKT. I don't know how that's bearish. And then Dash. Considered buying it after this session here. Had a pocket pivot point signal. I didn't. And it's wedging higher on me. And I tell you what, guys, there's been a couple of big misses by me because there's just so many stocks. This was a liquidity trap session long. Saw it. I just balked on it. It even was a recent reverse split. Look at all the green bop in this chart. I balked on it. Should have had a buy stop above 315. Whoopsie daisy. NNE. On this reversal here, I was like, well, you know what? On this day here on NNE, I saw it with CCJ. CCJ, NNE. And I was like, well, you know what? I love nanonuclear, the idea of it. Why don't I just let this one consolidate a little bit more, maybe get another pocket pivot point signal off the lows or green bop, and it's gone. 3 days up 73%. So, you know, there's that. There's NEE. I kept trying to look for a long. I thought it was wedging. Couldn't buy it. It's gone. GEV. Thought it was wedging here. Can't buy it. Oh, it's gone. What was the other one? NOW. NOW. I still have a small piece, but still, after this day, I was like, well, maybe I can get a pocket. Oh, it's gone. So it's all extended, which is why I'm going to buy Dash now before it's too late. Before I say it's gone on Dash, I'd rather buy it, give it a shot. If it fails on me, so be it. It's okay. I'll be calculating my size from this low, but I'm willing to give it to the 50 SMA to work. So Dash, getting long above the closing price, 130, 135, not the high of the day anymore. Calculating my size from this low, giving it room to work. Now, the only way that I would not give these room to work is if they reverse on heavy volume. Basically, a character change. It would just have to get ugly. And AGX had a new long signal here, never triggered, still on the books, but I have a candle over candle, heavier above average volume, still have max green bop. AGX, I'm now going to get long above this high of the day. Calculating my size, I don't know yet. Probably from gap fill. Or let's see, where's the 20 SMA now? Probably gap fill. I don't know. This one's fluid, but I still want to go big size, but I'll at least be out of half if it closes below here because it's so extended. But AGX adjusting the entry, Dash, high of the day, basically risking to the 50 SMA. IBKR, close, risking to the high of the day, or risking to the low of that support level. Sorry, guys. I'm just so used to saying one thing, and it's different now. Getting long above the closing price, not the high of the day. Calculating the size from here, willing to give it all the way to the 50 to work. So I know that's a lot to go over. Here's my weekly squeeze scans. 9 stocks in this one, 61 in that one. My favorite one from this scan is Oscar. Beautiful setup right here. Gonna probably set up, not probably, I'm gonna set a buy stop here, but I would prefer this one to pull back so I can do a buy stop above this high. The next one from this scan is, it's not proper, it's STRL. I'm hoping it can pull back. I don't think I want to do a buy stop above this high. I think I want this one to clean up before I do it, but this is my favorite one from this scan. And then I want to show everybody that the IWM below the 50 SMA, remember SPY, QQQ is the one that I focus on. IWM hasn't been leading in this QT environment, so I haven't been focusing on it, but I just want to show you the power of this indicator. You can use calls if you want, leverage, ETF if you want, but IWM goes below the 50 SMA. This indicator is above the zero line. Reclaim of the 50 SMA is a long. Worked out pretty well before failing. Now we have another reclaim of the 50 SMA. You would have been triggered and entered it at the open today because your buy stop would have triggered you in. There's a mini gap up, and you could be taking profits by the end of the day. But it held above the zero line the entire time. And as it started to kind of consolidate here, the indicator went green above the zero line, which is how you know it's worth a shot if it can reclaim that level, the 50 SMA. Just wanted to show you the power of that indicator. It has been an extremely active week, especially the last 3 days. I need a break. Have a great weekend, everyone. I'll see you back in the chat room on Monday.